All right, guys, talk about cutting it close here. Today's video, I need to work up a hog hunting load for my 300 blackout, for my 16-inch 300 blackout. And we are going to be using the 120 grain Barnes TAC-TX. We've shot the 110 grain here on the channel, but these stupid 120 grainers have not been in stock. And I've been waiting for them to come in stock so I could try them out, and I was finally able to get a hold of a couple boxes. I'll show you a picture of these guys. It's very similar to the 110 grain. You know, it's got that same black tip. It's just a bit longer, and it's got a boat tail. I've got a picture here of it next to the 110 grain, so you can see substantially longer, but still pretty similar. These guys, just like the 110s, are stupid expensive. They're crazy expensive. I don't know. Yeah, I should have looked it up. They're like 70 cents a piece. It's just plain crazy. I'm in a little bit of a rush here because I leave for Texas next week. So no screwing around. Need to cut through the BS and actually get down to it, get rounds loaded up, get the gun sighted in as soon as possible. So this is not going to be like one of my normal videos where we try a couple powders and shoot a big crap ton of bullets for no good reason. This is this is an example of me cutting through the BS and getting right down to it. Once I get back from Texas, hopefully with a bunch of dead hogs to talk about, then we can take the bullets I've got left over and try some other powders and, you know, cast the net a little bit wider here with the 120 grain TAC-TX. But for the time being, we're cutting through the BS, trying to get a load as soon as possible. Now, Barnes has got load data on their website, like always, which is awesome. The 120 grain, they only have one powder tested, and it is H110, which is the same as Winchester 296, which works out well because this is my very favorite Supersonic 300 blackout powder. So, easy choice here. We are going to be using CCI number 450 small rifle magnum primers. And as far as brass goes, same old crap we've been using on my channel forever. This is converted Lake City 5.56. So, how normally, okay, so the load data on the Barnes website shows a starting charge of 16.5 grains and a max charge of 17.5. So only one grain, 16.5 to 17.5. Like I said, I just want to cut through the BS. I've shot enough other bullets with this powder. I kind of know about where we need to be. So what we're going to do is shoot 17.2 grains and 17.5 grains. And unless something goes terribly wrong, one of those two is going to be our load. So what I'm actually going to do is load up 10 shot groups. I want to get a good idea on the accuracy of these guys. So I want to do 17.2 and 17.5 in 10 shot groups. And then we'll just go out, see how they shoot. If they shoot fine, you know, if they both shoot well, then 17.5 will be the load, as long as, you know, the velocity looks okay. The Barnes load data is predicting 2,150 feet per second. I'm guessing we could probably push it a little harder with 296, but we don't need to right now. This is kind of going to be my short range load. I'm also taking the 6.5 Grendel on this hunt. So that's kind of going to be my long range shooter. The Grendel is going to be for, you know, for stalking situations, you know, still hunting. So looking at close shots, I just need a good bullet that's going to put these things on the ground. And I'm thinking this 120 is going to be the guy. I really got lucky. I was kind of getting a little bit frantic. I was going to use the 115 grain Lehigh Defense Controlled Chaos just because I didn't really have any other good bullets on hand for the job. But these stupid things finally came back in stock here just a couple days ago, and I was able to get an order placed. But I've got 200 of them, so no shortage. We're going to have plenty of them to play with. It's just going to have to wait until after the hunt. Hopefully today it's going to be quick. So let me get situated and we will get to loading. So before I start weighing powder, what I've been trying to decide is whether or not to flare the case mouth on these. These are boat tail, and they seem to be sitting down in there okay. And I've got a nice chamfer on the case mouth of these cases, so I don't think it's going to be strictly necessary. But at the same time, I kind of want to, because on the 110 grain, you know, they are flat base. I did flare the case mouth because I was running into a few issues of digging up some copper on these guys. I think they're maybe soft, you know, or at least the 110s were. And sometimes I would get a little bit of copper scrapage. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Although, if you don't have a flaring die, you're probably going to be just fine. I think it would be okay, but I'm going to go ahead and just flare these guys for the heck of it. I always get my number 10 shell holder and number 13 shell holder mixed up, because a 5.56 case fits in both of them, but one of them's for 9mm. See, the 13 always seems to like fit better, but I think the 13 is actually the 9mm. It fits well. Whatever. We're going to use a 13. Back this flaring die out a bunch. Not going to flare a whole lot, just enough to where, yeah, just a little bit. So those are going to slide in there nicely, and we won't have to worry about any copper scrapage. So I'm going to flare these guys and then throw some charges, and we'll be ready to seat some bullets. I don't really know where this video is going. I don't know how many trips to the range we'll make. I don't know, whatever. But this is where we're starting. We're starting with these 20 rounds. We'll go out and shoot them and see how they do. If everything's great, we'll come back in, load some more. Probably put, I think I'm going to go with the red dot on my gun. So maybe throw the red dot on there, go out and get sighted in and prepped for the hunt. That might be where this video goes. Maybe we'll go outside. These things will fly terrible. And we'll end up switching gears and using the freaking Lehigh Defense 115 grain controlled chaos. I don't know. We're just going to let it develop naturally. See what happens. Okay, I've got our 20 bullets, our 20 charges weighed out. I've got our 20 bullets sitting on the cases there. I did mention, this is for my 16-inch gun. Did I mention that? Hopefully I mentioned that. Yeah, I am taking the 16-inch gun on the hunt. It's too much of a pain in the butt to travel out of state with the SBR. Or I would take it, but until the NFA gets repealed, it's too much of a pain in the butt. Our overall length is going to be 2.250. Oops. Hopefully I didn't go too far. 2.245. I may just roll with it. It's up into the top groove there. Kind of cantilever thing going on there. Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and back it off. I'll pop that guy in my bullet puller and just give it a couple pops to make it longer. Yeah, there we go. 2.250, 2.250, 2.251. So let's go ahead and run it through the factory crimp die. That's awfully light. Let's go a little bit heavier. There we go. That felt a little bit better. Could go a little bit more. Since it's kind of got that top groove, you know, that's kind of like a cannelure, might as well tuck that case mouth into it just a little bit. Yep, that looks pretty good. So there we go. Now, just need to pop this in my bullet puller. It's only a couple thousandths too short, so a couple pops. Should be enough, hopefully. Actually, that's 2.249. Yep, so it may be a thousandth too short, but close enough. Yep, that won't be a problem. So this is pretty much it. I'm going to get these 20 bullets seated and we will be ready for our first trip to the range. Hoping these guys are going to shoot well. You know, the 110's always shot reasonably well. Not spectacular, but good. So I'm hoping these will be the same. I'm also hoping they'll do a nice job on hogs. I think they will. I've read good reports about these bullets. These bullets, I don't really know what the deal is. They came out several years ago. And then they were announced, but then they weren't made available for like another year. And then even once they did come out, they have been very difficult to get a hold of. So I'm not sure what the holdup is on these as far as manufacturing and availability. These are seating really nice and smooth, you know, with that flared case mouth. I think it was worth it. So yeah, this is it. Just going to finish seating these last 5, throw them in an ammo box, and let's go ahead and just get on out to the range. Okay guys, it's time to see how these 120s are going to fly. I've got the gun kind of warmed up and sighted in. And I had some 110 grain Barnes TAC-TX rounds loaded up from deer season. I used those to sight it in. Those guys were about 2,450 feet per second or so, so good bit faster than what we're going to see here. We may hit a little bit low, but I'm hoping it won't be all that low. So let's get started. 10-shot groups. Our first one is going to be 17.2 grains. Okay, there's 5 shots, and you guys probably can't even see them on camera, can you? Okay, there's that better? Now you can see them. Okay, 5 more shots. Okay, that is certainly not horrible as far as 10-shot groups go. Our velocity was 2164, standard deviation 10.9, extreme spread of 32. Those are pretty good numbers. If this next load has similar numbers but gets us a little bit more velocity, we will be in business. Okay, 17.5 grains. See what happens. Yeah, and by the way, that first load, I checked the brass. It looks completely good. No signs of pressure, no issues at all. All right, that's not bad at all. Average velocity 2199, so basically exactly 2,200 feet per second. Standard deviation 12.7. Spread of 41. This is looking pretty good. All right, let's get back to the bench though. Double check the groups and the velocities, make sure everything looks good, but I think we might be good. Okay guys, we got a pretty sweet load on our hands, I think. It ended up being a 1.41 inch group. These groups were at 100 yards. I always forget to mention that. But yeah, 100 yards, 1.41 inch group is not too bad for a 10-shot group. 2,200 feet per second is 50 feet per second faster than what Barnes told us to expect. They said 2,150 and we got 2,200. So that's pretty awesome. So this is nice and easy. 17.2 wasn't bad. That was a 1.73 inch group, but we might as well take the velocity when we can get it. So all that's left now is to load up a bunch of them and then get the gun sighted in. And I have got the gun. This is its final form here. I've got my primary arms red dot on here, and I've got some Magpul just M-bus sights, iron sights. So what I want to do next is go and get this guy sighted in. I'm not sure. I can't tell for certain whether I'll be able to co-witness. I think this is like a, what do they call it? Like a bottom third co-witness. Like the iron sights line up near the bottom of the red dot. So I don't know how that all is going to work, but we'll go out there and play with it, get sighted in, and see how stuff lines up. Now, I don't want to spend 70 cents a bullet on the initial sight in, the crude sight in. So what I've done, I've got some of these Hornady Z-Maxes. I was actually looking for A-Maxes, but the Z-Maxes were a little bit cheaper. So I picked up a 500 pack of these. They're the same as the A-Max. They just have a green tip. So these 110 grain A-Maxes, Z-Maxes, whatevers, shot pretty well for us recently with CFE Black. So I'm going to load up, I think I'll load up 100, maybe even more. It's good to have some ciders, some supers laying around. So I'm going to load up a bunch of these. We'll use this for our crude sight in. And then once we're kind of sighted in here, then we'll switch over to the TAC-TXs for the final sight in. I'm sure they'll probably be pretty close to one another. I've got, let's see, how many did we load? We loaded 20. I think I'm going to load a bunch of these. I think I'm actually going to load 80. I'll load up 80 of them, and we'll go, yeah, and that should probably be enough for our sight in and then my hunt. And then that'll leave us another 100 bullets for later on to test with some other powders. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good plan. Both of these powders, they meter extremely well. So I'm actually just going to throw all of these charges with my powder measure. I can generally throw these types of powders within like a half a tenth. So it's not worth taking all the time to measure all these whenever the powders meter so well. So that's kind of where we're at. I have been looking at the ballistic calculator on Hornady's website. I like using that one. That one's easy to use. And I think what I'm going to go with, let me pop it up here for you on the screen, is a 75-yard zero. If I go with a 75-yard zero, everything else is low, right? So 25 is 1.4 inches low, 50 is 0.4 inches low, and then all the way out to like 150 yards is 1.9 inches low. So it's basically point and shoot all the way to 150, and then 175 and 200 start to drop off. I probably won't be taking any shots that far anyway. So 6.3 inches a drop at 200. So I think that's going to be a good zero. Should be point and shoot for basically the whole range that I'm planning on using this gun for. So that's what we'll do. I'll load up a whole bunch of ammo. We'll go back out to the range and get sighted in. Trying to think if there's anything exciting to show you on the loading. Not really. We already kind of covered the loading of the TAC-TXs earlier in this video, and there was a whole separate video on the 110 grain AMAX and CFE Black. So yeah, I might turn on the camera if I get lonely, but most likely I'll just see you guys back out on the range. Okay, time to get sighted in. I've got 10 rounds of our Z-Maxes that I want to use to get things crudely set. We'll start out with the red dot. I've got a target, it's actually 36 yards because that's where my frame happened to be. So we'll just start out here. Going to shoot at the center dot, and let's just get it pretty close. By my math, at about 36 yards, we should be about an inch low for our 75-yard zero that we're wanting. So let's see where it's hitting. All right, is that it high and to the left? I need to go get my spotting scope. Can't believe I forgot that. It looks like very high and a little bit left. All right, let's see what that does. Straight low, went too far. Okay, let's try this. Is that it, just a touch low? Yeah, I'm gonna shoot a couple. All right, let's go have a look. Okay, a spotting scope will make things easier now. All right, I moved the red dot a little bit left, a little bit up. So let's see where it hits now. I want to be basically right at the bottom of the orange. Yeah, right there. I think I've got a couple rounds left in this magazine. Let's go ahead and finish them off. All right, that's just about perfect. So now I want to shoot a couple of the Barnes bullets, and we'll see if it has the same point of impact. Okay, quick 3-shot group. Got a fresh dot here. See where they hit. Okay, that's not bad. Tell you what, I want to go ahead and move the target to 75 yards, our final zero distance, and we'll see how far off we are. Okay, our target is at 75 yards. I was actually ranging to this tree in front of me, so I'm actually at like 77 yards. Whatever. Let's do a 3-shot group with the 120 grain TAC-TX and just see where it puts us. Still shooting with the red dot. Now that I'm looking at this, I think what I want to do is just get the red dot sighted in and then move the iron sights to match the red dot. It seems that simple. So here we go, 3 shots. Okay, let's come up a couple clicks. I think these are half-minute clicks. All right, that's up 3 clicks, and let's go right. Let's go right 1 click. And let's shoot 3 more. Okay, 3 more clicks up. 2 more clicks to the right. See where this puts us. Let's shoot 5 of the V-Maxes and see, or Z-Maxes, and see where they hit. Sweet, same point of impact. I'm going to go one click to the left and one click down. Okay, 5 more Z maxes. Let's see where these go. All right, I'm going to go one more click down. All right, let me put up a fresh target, and I'm going to put it out as far as I can. I think I could probably get about 130 or 40 yards. So, fresh target, and I'll stretch it out there. Okay, so I got the iron sights lined up with the red dot. I wanted to show you guys, or at least attempt. This is not an easy thing to film here, but you can see my red dot, and right now I've got the red dot. I guess this is what would be called a bottom third co-witness. You can see the red dot is in the bottom 1/3 of the red dot. And then if I flip up the sights, there's the rear, there's the front. I don't know if I'll be able to really show you what's going on here, but there you go. You can see the peep sight there with the dot in the middle, and the front sight's up there somewhere. So I guess in normal usage, I'll show you where that would be. So I can't get quite the perfect shot, but hopefully this gives you some idea. Here's the dot more or less in the center, and it's just over top of the sights, and this is closer than it makes it look closer here. I can actually look right over top of the iron sights and use the red dot like normal without them really being in the way. So I could leave them flipped down, you know, and use the red dot like normal. I can flip them up and continue to use the red dot like normal, or I can bring the dot down into the lower third and co-witness with the irons. So I think this is going to be a good setup. I'm able to shoot through the red dot. If for some reason it has a failure, I can just, you know, flip up my irons and continue to kick butt. But normally I can just probably leave them down. So it should be a good setup. All right, I got the target out to about 125 yards, which isn't bad. It's going to be, the table I've got says it'll be 7/10 of an inch low. And that is tighter than I'm holding. I'll tell you that much right now. With my crazy old eyes, you can see I switched to the other face of the target with the black spot on it. Hopefully I can see this guy. I'm gonna put what I got, 5 rounds. Yeah, let's do 5 rounds here and see how they do. All right, just at the bottom of the orange. I can live with that. All right, 4 more. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. That's as good as I could hope for. All right, I want to shoot 5 of the V maxes just to make sure that they're okay out there. Okay, not bad. Let's see, is there anything else we need to do? I want to bring the target back in one more time, shoot it up close, and make sure that my final settings are still good at the 20, 30, 40, 50 yards where I'm planning to probably take most of the shots with this gun. So that 125 yard target was not exactly the most spectacular thing I've ever seen, but I can cover everything with my hand. That's a 3-inch orange dot there, so 4 inches or so with the 2 different types of ammo. But I think our first 5 shots were all down here, weren't they? I don't know. It's good enough. I'm not shooting with a rear bag, so that's kind of screwing me up a little bit. So that's my excuse. All right, I'm at 50 yards now. I want to shoot a 5-shot group with the Barnes TAC-TXs with 120 grainers. And this will be our last shots. If these look good, then we'll call it good. Back to a 1-inch dot, which my old eyes can't see very well. So that's my built-in pre-excuse. All right, let's do it. All right, that is good enough. All right, let's get back to the bench, think things through, make sure we don't have any final things to think about. Okay, so I'm feeling really good about our load. Got plenty of rounds loaded up. I'm feeling good about the gun, feeling good about our zero, feeling good about the sight setup. So, feeling really good. I think this guy is going to put the smack down on him. I guess this is the point where I should invite you over to my second channel, JRB Outdoors, very original name. That's where I do all my hillbillying, my fishing and hunting. So I'm hoping to get some of this hunting on film and hopefully smack some hogs with this guy here. And this video has been, I've been filming it slowly over the last few days as I get ready, and I'm actually leaving here in just a day or two. So there's going to be videos over on that channel almost as soon as this goes up. Start being content over there. So I'll have a link down in the description. I'll have a link at the end, all that stuff. So I will see you guys next time.